All right. You're welcome to Unit 2.4. And now we have our Scratch downloaded to our PC. I remember in the last unit, I told you I was going to teach you or show you how the Scratch looks like after we downloaded it. So I'm going to go over and install and click my Scratch open. I'm going to go to my search bar in Windows and I'm going to write Scratch. And then I'm going to click it. You see Scratch show up here. I'm going to double click it, okay? Double click it so that it will open for you Scratch. Is that okay? So my Scratch is trying to open. My Scratch is trying to open. As you can see, it's creating project. And here is my Scratch environment. Is that okay? Good. So this part you see here is known as the Scratch environment. Very good. So this is where we'll be doing our jobs, our programming jobs. You know, just like every profession, they have where they work. The doctors work at the hospital, the engineers work at the site, and just like that. So we as programmers, as Scratch programmers, will be working in the Scratch environment. As you can see, this is the desktop edition because you are not working online. That's why you see the Scratch desktop written here. So I'm going to introduce you to the entire Scratch environment so that you can become familiar with it and then you'll be able to work effectively in this environment. So the first thing we'll see here is something of like a browser sign. Is the language icon. So you can choose several languages all around the world, which language you understand, and then you can choose it and select what language you want to work on. And because I feel you are in English, so you just leave it at English. If you speak any other language or understand any other language other than English, then you need to change it. Then the next button you have here is called the File button. So you can see it contains three other sub buttons, sub menus: the new, load from your computer, and save to your computer. So we are going to use this save to your computer and load from your computer very often later as we move on. With the new button, if you click it, the new menu, if you click it, it's going to open a new environment of this type for you. Is that okay? It's going to open this same environment, a new one for you. So it means you're going to leave where you are before to a new environment. And there's going to be, you see, it created a new environment for me. So because I've not done anything, there was no question asked me. But if I've done something before, it's going to ask me, you are living here, do you want to save your work or not? And then the load from your computer, you use it to load something you've done before or a project that was sent to you. Scratch has a community where people can work on projects and then they can share it and other people can continue to build on it creatively. Okay, so maybe your friend in school have done something and then he wants to share it to you so that you can develop it further. If you copy it to your PC, you now click load from your computer, and then it's going to take you to a folder. You navigate to the folder where you have your your Scratch project that you want to load. Is that okay? So once you load it, it's not going to show that project in this environment. Then save to your computer. When you are finished doing your program, your animation, your story, your game, you are finished developing it, and you want to save it, you click the save to your computer. These functions we'll use later. The edit function is used to edit whatsoever you have on your environment. Okay, you can use to restore something previous that you've done, just like the Ctrl+Z in Windows, or you can also turn on the turbo mode. All these things we'll look at later. You have the tutorial here. Tutorial is to teach you some things. So if you click on it, but you need to have internet connection so that you can be able to take it to some lessons that people have done in order to show you around how to work with Scratch. Now you see this box that is here is written Scratch project. Okay, this is where you name your Scratch project. Is that okay? Good. I said this is where you do what? Yes, this is where you name your Scratch project. So we are going to name this project as our project, let's say project 1. Is that okay? Good. We're going to name it as project 1. So which means this is our very first project that we are what? We are writing. So this is where you name your project. Is that okay? Very good. Now, the Scratch interface has 3 other menus, very important menu. As you can see, you see the code menu here. You see costumes, and then you see sound. So I'm going to come to that in a short while. Now look at this part of it. This part you can use for full screen control. So when you click it, your environment is going to take over your entire screen. But if you reduce it, it's going to become smaller. Is that okay? It's going to become smaller and almost at the middle portion of your screen. And then these 2 buttons are used to toggle between different view, okay? Between different view, your development view. If you click this, you see that this area becomes smaller, and then you have a bigger part here. And if you click back, you see that it's almost the same size. So it depends on which one you want to use. It depends on your preference, but I prefer to use this particular one. So if you have any question, remember you can always ask me. So now immediately I'm going to introduce you to things that are very important. In this Scratch environment, there are the different parts or the different areas you can see have different names that help us to understand what to do with them in this environment. So this first part you see is called the what? The stage. Yeah, this is called the stage area. This is called the stage area. The stage area is where you see what you've done, what you've developed. You now see it in action. It is like, this is where you run your program. This is where you test your program and you see the results of your program. Normally, when Scratch opens, you would always see this card here in the stage area, okay? This card has a name. Remember, we said something previously like characters when we defined Scratch. We talked about characters. So this is a character. But in Scratch, we call them sprites, okay? So this is the default sprite, which is also a character, but I'll need you to always call it sprite. Is that okay? Good. This is the default sprite that will always load each time you open Scratch. You always see this card here come up with your Scratch environment. Is that okay? Good. So this part is called what again? It is called the stage area. The stage area. Is that okay? Yes, very good. So we're going to come back a little bit to talk about other things here. Now, this part you see that is empty here is known as your script area. This is your workshop. This is where you do everything that you see the result happen here. So this is where you program. This is where you put your codes, and then at the end of the day, you check the results of the code in the stage area. Is that okay? Good. Now this other part, this entire part, this part from here down to here is called the block palette. Okay, these are the block palettes. Okay, now this block palette, remember we said that Scratch is a visual programming language that is block based. So it is these blocks that are here that are known as blocks that we use to build programs. Okay, so instead of we writing codes, we are just using blocks. We drag these blocks to our script area. So for example, you see I can drag this, and then this means something. You can see it say move 10 steps. So this means that something should move. Okay, look at my cat. Look at my cat, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving. Yeah, you see what I just did? So when you put something here, it's a code, an instruction, and then you see the result happen here, okay? The instruction is that my cat should move 10 steps. Is that okay? Good. So these are blocks. These blocks act as instructions for your characters in your program. Is that okay? Good. Now we have 9 blocks. We have 9 different kind of blocks. The first one you see, they are all color coded for easy use. The first one you see that in blue are known as motion, okay? These are known as what? Motion. Motion help your program or your character, your sprite, to move, to walk, to glide, to turn, and to point in a particular direction. Everything about the motion are all in blue, as you can see. All of them are in what? In blue, right here. Is that okay? Good. Now the next one is looks. Good, looks. You can see the look? Yes. The looks are in purple, and what they do is that they help your program to think, to say something, to communicate, to interact, is that okay, to grow, and to switch costumes. So for example, this cat is on yellow. I can change it to a different color, and then this is where it happens, okay, under the looks. So the next one is the what? The sound. Sounds, they are in what? In pink. They're in pink color, and this is where we use sound. We control the volume. We say what sound to what to play for our sprite. Is that okay? Very good. Are you following? Very good. I need you to follow because you need to be familiar with the Scratch environment. Is that okay? Very good. Very good. Now the next one, which is colored yellow, are called event. Is that okay? They are called what? Event. Events are very, very important in our what? In our program. The event tell your sprite what to do when something happens. Is that okay? Event tell your sprite what to do when something happens. For example, I will say, my sprite, I want you to move when I do this. So it is event, under event, which are the yellow blocks that you will control that. Is that okay? Very good. Then the next is control. Control is another powerful aspect or blocks for your Scratch programming. Is that okay? Is that okay? Are you following? Very good. What the control does is that it tells your sprite how something should be done. How something should be done. You can use these blocks to program your sprite to do something until something else happens. They can continue to do it, or to wait when something happens before they react. So it kind of builds the reaction. Is that okay? For example, I will tell my dog, when I come in, back. When I come in, sit down. So it is under control you use to control these aspects. Like you can see, you see the wait 1 second, repeat, forever, if then. So under this part, we have what we may likely call, or what some of these adults want to say, the word, the loops. Very good, the loops. Loop means, we'll talk about loops later, so let me not rush you at this time. Then the next set of block is they are known as the sensing blocks. Is that okay? They are turquoise in color, and the both ends are pointed. As you can see, the both ends are pointed. Is that okay? Good. These are sensing. What sensing does is that they help you to check what is happening around, and then help your program to react to what? To it. Your sprite will now respond. So for example, you know, if it is raining outside, you need to go with an umbrella, but you need your eyes or your ears to make you know that it's raining outside. So it's the same thing. Your sensing helps you know what is happening around, and then your sprite would, or your program will react accordingly. Is that okay? Very good. Now the next blocks are the operator blocks. These operator blocks are in green. Is that okay? And what they do is that they help you perform operations such as calculations, or to do what? To combine some sensing what? Blocks. Is that okay? You can use these operator blocks to combine some of these sensing blocks. That means you put 1 or 2 together to perform an enhanced operation. Is that okay? Very good. And the next one are the variables. Variables are used to perform complex operations. Is that okay? They are deep orange in color. They are deep orange in what? In color. You can use it to now store values and some other things. So when we begin to program, you will see the use of variables. They help us perform complex what? Functions. And then lastly, you have my blocks. These ones you can use to create your own personal blocks. Is that okay? If there's anything that is not available here, you can use my blocks to create it, your own customized one, and they are always in red. Is that okay? They are always in red. And if you look at this part is called extensions, okay? Extensions, you can use it to add more functions to the Scratch programming environment. You can use it to add music, pen, video sensing, and a lot of other things that can make you develop enhanced what? Programs. Is that okay? Very good. Very good. So as time goes on, we are going to move on to what? To this. Now look at this button here. It's called the zoom button. These two buttons are the zoom buttons. And then you can use it to zoom or to zoom more into your object so that you can see it clearly, or you zoom out from it. Is that okay? And then this is to help you centralize or align your script what area. Is that okay? Very good. Now look up, you see this green flag and this red icon. Now, as you can see, the red icon says stop. So, and then the green says what? Go. It's just like your traffic light. Green says go, red says stop. Is that not so? Yes. So what happens is that after you have put some blocks here, maybe you put some of these blocks, whatsoever, you put these blocks, it is here you will click to run it. This is known as a run button. You click it to what? To run it. Is that okay? Good. Very good. So, and then if you want to stop, you also click this red icon to do what? To stop it. That is very good. That is so with these two buttons, we control our program to begin to run or to stop. Very good, very good. That's my intelligent programmer. Good. I'm proud of what you are doing. Now, the next thing we want to look at is sprite information. Over here, come down, come down. Can you see where my mouse is hovering around? Good. Now, this is known as the sprite information. Sprite information means this card you can see here, some details about it. Over here, we can change the name. This is the name of the sprite. So I can just say, let me call my sprite Kitty. Good. So I've changed its name to what? To Kitty. Very good. And then you see this S position. It is where it is staying on this axis, okay? On the what? Horizontal what? Axis. That is it. So it is, if you look, if I move it this way, you see it changing. If I move it to the left, you see it changing to negative. You see it. You see it. And then if I move it this way, you see it changing. Are you getting it? So if I'm coming to the right, it turns positive. And if I'm going to the left, it turns what? Negative. So you must be able to understand that towards the left is what? Negative, and towards the right, if I want you to keep moving forward, is what? Positive. If I want you to move backward, is what? Negative. And upwards, okay, you can see the y-axis, it moves it what? Upwards, which is positive. And if I'm coming down, it's going to become negative. Are you getting it? Very good. We are going to use this often, so I will need you to know that we're going to use this often, very often. So you need to know when to put minus and when to leave it without the what? The minus. Is that okay? Good. Now, if you look at this button here under motion, you see it changing. You see it changing. Now it's on 12, minus 12 and 5. If I move it, you will see it change. You see it has changed. So it controls the what? The direction or the position of my sprite. Is that okay? Very good. Good. Now this is the size of the what? Of the sprite. I can increase it or reduce it. If I reduce it, my sprite is going to go smaller. Do you see that? Yeah. So if I increase it, my sprite will become bigger. So I'm going to leave it at 100%, and then it's going to become bigger. Now these two buttons that are here, that looks like the I button, what it does is that it reveals our sprite, or it hide the sprite. Okay, so you see where this blue one is showing, that's why this sprite is showing. If I click on this other one, my sprite is going to go off. So it has disappeared. It's hidden now. And if I click, it's going to show up. Is it okay? So I'm going to use this function as we begin to program. Now this is our sprite. And then you see this box here. If I want to remove it, I'll just delete it. I'll click it and it's gone. My sprite is gone. What do I do? Now what you do is that you can always add sprite. If you want to add a new sprite, you come here and then you see it says choose what sprite. Can you see that? Yes. So there are 4 ways we can choose sprite. You can just click here and choose from the set of sprites or characters that came with your Scratch program. Is that okay? So let me click that, and then you see a lot of sprites, characters, different type. You have animals, you have people, you have fantasy, you have dance, people are dancing, you have music, you have sport, you have food, you have fashion, and then you have letters. So you can choose any one you want from all of these. Is that okay? Good. Now the next way you can choose sprite is what? Through paint. Paint, you paint it on your own. Is that okay? You see, you're going to now paint it on your own. You're going to use these tools to paint a scratch on your own. So you're going to use it to paint something on your own, and then you would use it. You see me doing, you see what I'm doing? I'm painting my own scratch. Is that okay? Good. So you can use your own sprite by painting it, okay? But that's not what we're going to do now. We're going to delete it. And then the next thing you can do is that you can pick a sprite by surprise. What it means is that from the ones that are inbuilt, it will just give you one. So let me do one. Yeah, you see what it brought out? Okay, good. So it's just random. You just pick from it randomly. Is that okay? Good. Let me randomly pick another one again. Yeah, you see what it gave me? Yeah. So that is it. And then the last way is for you to upload your own personal sprite. That means you have it already on your computer, and what you do is that you just upload it. So let me upload one I have on my computer right here, and you see it. You see it's importing, and then you see the sprite I have. Is that okay? So this one is not among those that came with the Scratch environment, but it's a personal one that I've imported. So those are the 4 ways for you to add what? Sprite in your project. You come here and do whatsoever. Now, the next thing I want to teach you is that you see this background, this stage area is white. You can always change it here. You can choose a backdrop, and also the same thing, 4 ways. You can paint your own backdrop. You can choose from the ones that are available. You can pick one by surprise, or you can upload your personal one. Is that okay? Good. So let me choose one from the ones that are available, and let me choose my bedroom. Yeah, so you can see that the stage area has changed the background. The background has changed. Have you seen that? Yeah, now it's just showing my my bedroom. And let me add a sprite to it. Let me add, what am I going to add? Okay, let me say I discovered a beetle in my room. Oh, there's a beetle in my room. There's a beetle in my room. Now, let me make this beetle to move all around. Is that okay? Now, we are already building a program. Are you following? There's a beetle in my room, and I'm going to make the beetle move around. That is creativity. Remember, I told you to become a programmer, you become creative. Is that not so? Good. So let me make it move. Now, the first thing you need to do when you want to start giving instruction to your computer in the Scratch environment is to do what? Is to add what? You need to add the when click. You start with it, when click. It means when I click this, begin whatsoever I want it to begin. So I'm going to do the when click, and then to give my sprite, sprite instruction, you must make sure it is what? Selected. Make sure it's showing blue. Let me add a different sprite. Let me add Okay, let me add a vary. Yes, you see her in this position. Good, she's here. Can you see her? Very good. Now, anything I do at this time will be under her. But if I want to work on my B2, I need to click my B2. Is that okay? Good. So that's why you see that it's showing here when clicked. And then I'm going to make it move around the room, and then I will become scared. So I'm going to say move. Good. Move 10 steps. And then after I say move 10 steps, I'm going to tell it to also do what? To also move towards, okay, let me just say it should move 10 steps. And after moving 10 steps, it should wait a little. To get the weight, I have to go to control. Remember I said that with your control blocks, what happens is that you can do what? It helps your sprite to know what to do, how something should be done. So I'm going to tell it to wait, and that's why I'm going to the what? To the control. So I'm going to tell it to wait for some few seconds, and after waiting, I want it to say something. So I want it to now say, hey, where am I? Okay, so I'm going to use the say button under looks and change it to, hey, where am I? Where am I? Is that okay? Good. So let's run it. To run your program, you can either click here or you go here and click it. So let me click the go button. You see it? You see that it moved and then it said, hey, where am I? But you didn't see the movement so well. So let me increase it. Let me increase the movement to 100. And then let's click again. Let me stop it. And then I'm going to click it to start all over again. This movement is coming close to me. It's coming close to Avari. You see it? It's going close to R. It's going close to R. So that is how you what you. This is the Scratch environment, and then I've introduced you to everything you need to know. Now the other thing we need to talk about is the costumes. Okay. Now you can see that this might be to have just one costume, except I want to now create another myself. It has one costume, which means it can only appear in this format. Okay. Now let me look at her and see, oh, she has two different costumes. That means she can appear in two different formats. Either she's spreading her hands like this, or her hands are folded to her what? To her back. Can you see that? Good. So she can appear, you can use that in these two formats, and you go to a what? Where do you change that? You go to your looks. Under your looks, you can see switch costume to what? You see it? Good. And then we can also change background when our program is running. And you see that here, it says change background to a different place. Do you see that? Good. Can you see it? So there's a lot we'll do because of what we now know in our Scratch environment. Remember again that I said this is the stage area. These are your what? Sprites. This is your backdrop. This is your sprite information. This is your script area where you put all your blocks, all your codes, you put them. These are your block palettes, the different blocks you'll be using to design your program. And then if you want to save your program, you just click here and you go to save. Or if you want to load a new one, you click here to load a previous program. Is that okay? Good. So now we are going to do something very simple, like before. We're going to create a cat that can do what? That can do this meow sound. Okay, the cat will do the meow sound. Is that okay? Good. So let me change my backdrop. I'm going to change it to yes, Castle 2. Yeah, this looks beautiful. And then I'm going to add a cat. Go to your choose sprite, and then you can search here. You can go under animals, or if you are sure of what you want, you just go to your cat, and then you see the different types of cats you want. So let me choose a lion. Good. You see, we have a lion here. The lion is here. And then let me choose somebody, and the lion is going to roar before the person. Let me choose. Who am I going to choose now? Who am I going to choose? Okay, let me choose Ben. Let me choose Ben, and Ben will become scared. Okay, look at Ben here. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go back to the lion. Remember, if you want to program anything on any of the sprites, you need to do what? You need to click it and let it show this blue. It will be highlighted. And then I'm going to go to the first thing I need to do is what? Under event, I'll take when clicked because I need to begin the program. And then I'm going to go to sound and make the lion do something. Is that okay? Good. It says you should do what? You should grunt. Okay? So let me click and see. Can you see what we are doing? Clap for yourself. Now I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that. Okay? Now do it. I'm counting. Good. When you're able to do that, the first thing you need to do is to go to event, pick the when clicked and place it in your script area, and then go to sound and click start sound. Is that okay? Good. Good, good, good. So when it does that, I want Ben to now say, oh, save me, save me, save me. We are going to do that. If you want to do that, you come to Ben. Is that okay? Yes, you go to Ben and then you click. Remember, I want to say something under looks, and then Ben should say, first is that you go to your what event, when clicked, looks. No, we are not going to do when click for now for a particular reason because it has to start from the other part. Is that okay? Good. It has to start from the other part. So we are going to click say save me. Save me. Good. And then let's go back and run it. Okay. Good. So you see that it's not doing anything. Ben is not saying anything. Okay, let's put the when clicked and you see what is happening. Let's go back again. You see it? So when it grunts, Ben says save what? Save me. So the when clicked button tells your program to what? To begin. It tells your program to do what? To begin. So it's very, very essential. Is that okay? That's what I wanted you to learn. Is that okay? Good. So today we have been able to master the Scratch environment, and we have also coded our first word program. We have given instruction to the lion to make a sound, and we've given instruction to Ben to say the word save me word. You see how powerful we are becoming. We are becoming a programmer who can instruct the computer on what to say. So we are going to now save our program. You go to File, save to your computer, and then you're going to give it a name. Remember, the name says Project 1. That's what we named it there. And then you are going to save. So our program is saved. Anytime we come, we can now go back and load the program. But if you fail to save, if you come back, you will not be able to see that program, and you have to start all over again. Is that okay? Good. So now today we've been able to learn about the Scratch environment. We've learned about the buttons, that these blocks you see here are what make us give instruction to our sprite. Now your assignment today is going to be that I want you to do Ben, code Ben, program Ben, give Ben an instruction that when he says save me, it should start running. Is that okay? Make Ben run. Are you following? Good. Make Ben run, and then you have to make the lion run over Ben also. Is that okay? Very good. So good. Clap for yourselves. You are becoming a great programmer, and I'll see you in the next class. Okay? Goodbye.